Good morning. It is Friday, so TGIF. Brief morning report. What's been going on here in the last 24 hours or so? Paris was attacked. There was a terrorist attack. A gunman shot and killed one police officer, wounded a couple others. On the Champs-Élysées, a very popular tourist attraction, very popular spot. Lots of people normally gathered in that area. And this is now the third attack. ISIS has claimed responsibility for this attack. This is the third terrorist attack in 6 years in France, which will continue to keep the French on edge. And this comes on the eve of the French elections, that the first round that will take place tomorrow, and may have an effect on that. François Fillon, the conservative, who had been leading the polls early on and then faded after he had a little bit of an issue trying to explain exactly what his wife did for her salary, and is now more closer to third than to anything else, has called for a postponement of the elections as a result of the attacks. I don't know whether or not that will actually happen, but the attacks probably strengthen the campaign of Marine Le Pen, who, this whole thing about immigrants, terrorist attacks, this all fits into what she's been complaining about, and may give her a boost if the elections are still going to be held tomorrow. Jean-Luc Macron has been in second, and this kind of a thing might hurt his candidacy. We shall see. So Fillon would be hoping that he can make it to the top two, though right now polls are showing that it's Le Pen and Macron that will actually face each other for the presidency in a couple of months, and we'll just have to see how that goes. But it doesn't, once again, can't underscore enough about the threat of terror just about everywhere you are. They're out there. They're going to try everything they can to kill and maim and send their messages to us. Also, tomorrow is Earth Day. It's also be the March on Science in Washington. There are 50,000 people that are expected to demonstrate against President Trump's policies on science. It is expected to rain, so that may dampen the crowd a little bit. But we talk about fake news. I think there's a lot of fake science going on here. Also evidenced by the fact that one of the speakers is the quote, the eminent scientist Bill Nye, the science guy, as if he knows anything about anything. So we'll see how that turns out tomorrow. If the weather was better, I'd probably actually go down there myself and shoot some video, but if it's too wet and rainy, I'm probably not going to do that. Republicans, the conservatives and the moderates apparently are huddling to craft yet another version of their Obamacare replacement plan, hoping that this one will actually fly. But if initial reports are correct and they are still going to preserve the pre-existing conditions portion of Obamacare, which is one of the most costly provisions in Obamacare, then what you're going to have in the end is the Republican House. The House Freedom Caucus will not be able to support that. They need something more substantial than that actually, caps expenses and really ties the premium much more to the individual and their own health history and everything like that. Things that are not allowed to be used since Obamacare came into play. So we'll see how that goes. The Democratic National Committee, a couple quote things here, is that they're having a unity tour. Chairman Tom Perez is going around the country trying to fire up the base that they seemingly lost in November. And so with that, one of the things that happened was that apparently there's a Bernie Sanders-backed candidate for mayor in Nebraska. But the problem there, a shocking thing actually, is that the Bernie Sanders-backed guy is actually pro-life. And that's upset Narrow and a lot of other hardcore liberals who just find that, that is unacceptable. So it may be that they won't settle this issue in general, that there will be no DNC support for this guy. But on the other hand, he has a chance to forge his own path and say, look, I believe in these principles, but I don't believe in those principles, and just forge a completely different path than maybe other Democrats have, and be a little more accommodating, and basically wind up in the middle, which isn't a bad place to be these days, with the way politics are swirling about us. Also, Bill O'Reilly received a $25 million severance package payout from Fox News for leaving the network, and that may seem like a lot of money, but Bill generated a ton of money for them. He had apparently just re-signed for a similar amount annually. So, based on his 16-year run as the top-rated cable news show, the amount of money and the ratings that he brought to Fox, this amount of money is not all that inconceivable or outrageous in that sense. But we are seeing a lot of women come out of the woodwork, trying to accuse O'Reilly of sexual harassment in one way, shape, or form, and the other. Though not all are asking for money, but the ones who do are going for the bigger bucks. And I think the insurance company is willing to pay it, so be it. And help the network out paying that stuff. Yeah, if that happens, it happens. Because you tend to be covered for these things if you're smart about it. And then finally we have Sarah Palin, Ted Nugent, Kid Rock at the White House, and they have a picture now circulating through the internet, social media, of the three of them in front of a Hillary Clinton portrait with a less than flattering pose. Probably the same has been done for other presidents. I don't know. I'm just going to speculate here. But the media shouldn't consider anyone's feelings about that to be something that you got to rip up one side and down the other. I mean, I think we kind of know what side of the fence that Kid Rock and Ted Nugent. You don't boycott their concerts or events and whatnot because of this position. There are plenty of people who actually support what they're doing. And so they won't be as angry, and it really won't hurt them in the long run for a lot of these types of things. And that's about it for now. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. Enjoy the weather wherever you are. Hopefully it's going to be better than it is here. We're expecting rain. And then that's it. Have a great day. We'll see you on Monday.